This is the continuation of the previous video where we saw the file writer, FW equals new file writer. We saw that we need to have \n to put in things, and one more change I'm doing is that I am creating a file object f, which I'm bounding with my.text, and then I'm putting f to this file writer rather than directly plugging the name of a file. Okay, we can do like this also. So file writer has a constructor for these file objects as well. Now I would like to actually read the file, which we did it here in a character wise using the file reader, which reads one character at a time. I want to read a file as a whole. Okay, now what I'm doing here is when I use the file reader here, I say for the new file reader I'm putting the same f here, which is the name of the file, or I could have plugged in the file name. Then what I'm doing is I'm trying to see what is the length of the file, how many characters there are. That's the f.length. It will tell me what the length of that. I'm creating because f.length is by default returning the long, so I have to convert it back to the int. Okay, otherwise it will have some problem if I don't do that. Okay, for example, I'm saying this. So technically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see the length of the character. Okay, but here the length of the character array has to be integer, so you have to typecast it without doubts, and because it need to be integral. And then I'm creating a character array chr, which has the same size as that of the length of the characters in a file. And then I'm saying for the read, and I have another constructor where I pass in the chr. That means it will read everything from the file into the chr. Okay, and they have same length, so there's no problem. And then this chr which has all the file in it. So now I do what? I make a character chh, which will get a one character at a time from chr and just print it out. So, but it is still character wise printing. Okay, I could get everything in a one go here from the file into the chr array, but again you have to do it in an array wise. If I give it a go, it's the same thing, right? But now that means I have got two problems to face now. One is the character wise writing and reading, and second one is \n. I have to put the \n in the right mode. So I want something which will read and write in a line wise, not a character wise, right? So something has to be done. So what we're talking about is if we use a file writer or a file reader, it's not recommended. Why? Number one, we have to insert the line separator manually, and number second is that while reading data from file reader, we can read data character by character, which is not convenient to the program. So we need something where we can read from the line wise, okay, at least. So that's why we have one of the things called a buffered writer or buffered reader. Okay, so buffer writer to write text data to the file, and we got the constructors here like buffer writer bw equals new buffer writer. And remember one thing, that buffer writer can't write directly to a file. It can't be a file name here, or it can't be a file object here. It has to be some writer object. Okay, and here another constructor is where we use also the buffer size. Now let's try to make a program using the file buffer writer, right? Okay, let me write it down and then pause the video for a while. Firstly, buffer writer, which we create an object of, is having a constructor which can't directly access the file. So we need some file writer, even not the file object we can have here. So we need a file writer, so which is linked with the file, and buffer writer is linked with that file writer. Okay, and now if I say bw dot write, and you see there are a lot more construct methods for writing, I mean the string, character arrays, integer, and a lot more, right? So maybe I will say here write 100, write some value, maybe 1000. Okay, and then I will say maybe I will have a character array AR equals to double quote A comma B should be in quotes B, comma, in quotes C, and so on, right? And I can write to the file bw.write, okay, and I'm writing this AR to it. And similarly, I can have a string. I can say bw.write is string, and the string name is teach Java, for example. Okay, and then we can have bw.flush. You know what it does, bw.close, then I'm closing it. So when you close the BW, it automatically closes the file writer. So no need to close the file writer here, right? If I give it a go, let me delete this file, say delete. Okay, delete this file as well, say delete, and say okay. Now give it a go. We'll create a file and just refresh it, refresh it. The new text is coming up, and as you can see, it is putting up those things here. The same as we saw previously, but the only difference is, okay, only difference is that we can simply do what? We can have another method in the bw.write, what is called as after writing to it, I can simply have a new line character. So I say bw.newline. I don't need to put it manually, it is there. So similarly here I can say bw.newline. Okay, and that's it. So if I give it a go, now open up the general text, it is having the new lines characters, is it? So now if you want to read the data, what's the most used stuff and more preferred way is the buffered reader, because here we can read the stuff the line wise. Okay, we can have many constructors, right? We can use character wise, and in addition we can use the line wise. If you want to use character wise, we can do that also, but if you want to use line wise, we can do that also. So but the buffer reader, like buffer writer, can't access directly, so we need some file reader before actually we actually read the file. So file reader equals to new file reader, and because I had to open the file in the read mode, so that's done by this guy. So maybe I say generate back the same file which I'm writing to. Okay, then I've got a buffer reader. It is buffered reader, not buffer reader. Remember that thing also. Buffer reader equals to new buffer reader. Okay, and I'm passing it the file reader object, which is linked with the file in a read mode. Now after that, I got some string variable. I will string variable, say for example, whatever you want to say it. Maybe I will call it ch. Maybe I got a str string equals to what else? I got some br is buffer reader dot read line, so I can read a line. Okay, a complete line. You getting me? And so now if there's no more line, it will return the null. So I can plug it into the while loop, while str not equals to null, until it's not gonna be null, while it's not gonna be null, not until, sorry, until it's gonna be null. So do it until, or while it's not gonna be null. What are you gonna do? SYSO, just print out this str and then do it again. Then I say str equals to br dot read line, to read the next line. Okay, and until it's not going to be the null. When it hits the null, it's going to be end from the while loop, and then I say br dot close, which will automatically close me the file reader object. So if I give it a go, here it's reading me out the back. Okay, I don't need the in the console showing me everything. So this is how we write and read using the buffered reader. Now the most advanced stuff what we have is called the PrintWriter, okay, which we have done already. It's the most enhanced writer, writing character to the data file. The main advantage is we can write any type of primitive type data directly to the file. So it may have many constructors, but it's a new printer string. Now we need a file name. What the file name is? Okay, we can have a file if we can have a writer object, and we can write it directly or via some writer object. Okay. Now if you look at the constructors we are having here is methods here. The write methods is write int ch character array string flush and close, and with the print method also print. We can print here like the char ch int I double d boolean b string s, and println methods also. I've got all kind of stuff here. Now for example, if I just close it out everything, right? Okay, and I'm going to use a PrintWriter. I say PrintWriter, PrintWriter is here. This is one of the best things we have. pw equals to new PrintWriter, and I pass on directly some file to it. No need to have some writer object or something like that. You say like journey.txt. Now I have directly a file. Now I can have the print pw.print. Print, you can have a lot of things at the print or println, strings, wires, booleans, characters, arrays, doubles, floats, int, long, whatever you like to print. You can print any damn thing here. Like print, I will say pw. Maybe you say print, and you may also say write, write. Now we can have a write here, like write string, write character, write int, write this thing or those things. So we can have, firstly we need to write, right? So we say write, say for example 100 or maybe 1000, okay? And then I will also say control, maybe I will copy it out and just put it downside, and I say I can say many more things. So what I'm talking about here is maybe I will say 60, 80, 80, or maybe 80 I'm saying, talking about. Now I say here pw.print, print, that is gonna be also the 80, okay? Maybe this is the println, okay. Maybe I say here pw.println, println, and I'm gonna put up spaces there, so that will give me the new line only. That's what I want. And pw.write, it has many writes methods which will write, which are equivalent to the buffer reader's write. Buffer reader's character writing. So it will write the correspond, because this 80 will be taken as the Unicode value and its corresponding character value will be printed. But when we talk about the print method, and this print method actually prints the exactly 80. So if we just give it, close it, and give it a go, just give it a go. Yeah, there's some problem. What could be the problem? See what's the problem. Save it. There is some error somewhere. This is the error because I don't have one brace. Okay, save it. Give it a go. Now it's working fine. Then Junior text opened up. There is some. Maybe I refresh it. And then okay, there is still a problem. Let me work it out. Maybe I delete this first. I delete. Where is it? Delete it first. Okay. Now I'm writing to the Juni.text. Refresh it. It's coming up, but it's empty. I don't know why is this empty. Pause. Because I have not done one thing. I should say pw.flush maybe. firstly, and maybe the most important thing is I should say pw.close. Unless you don't close, it will not be written to the file, right? So now you take up here, it's coming up P when it was the AD here. But when I say print method, it prints not the character value but the integer value. Okay, that's important. And then now we may have the print has a lot of things like we can have. That's the important thing. We gotta do difference between the others and here. If you talk about the println, the println, it could be string, it could be boolean value, it can be characters. You can just simply plug in here the true. Okay, if you say true, it is putting up the boolean value into it, and you just open it up, it is a true coming. Okay, you can just simply Control Alt backspace, and also the println will print you the next line. And here, because this actually prints next after it prints the true, and here I can print the string. This is a string. This is a string, right? Now maybe I say Control Alt down arrow println, and I may plug in some floating point values. Whatever the floating point values, that's a great thing we can work with. So it has literally everything here. As you can see, it's coming up. This print method is a very strong method, basically, and it has a lot of variations like you can put up characters, you can put up the strings, you can put up a single character as well. You print on the character A, for example. You put the A into the, maybe you put up here the single character A. It will use it for single A, and we have also backward compatibility where we have the right, which can put up only the characters. Okay, so that's a wonderful thing. So what's the conclusion? Is the most enhanced writer to write character data to the file is the PrintWriter, whereas the most enhanced reader to read character from the data is the buffer reader. We may also have the scanner classes which we can read the files from. Okay. Conclusion second is, in general we can use readers and writers to handle character data, that is the text data, whereas we can use streams to handle binary data. If you have binary data, we can use file input stream to read binary data from file, and we can use file output stream to write binary data to the file, like we have binary data, like we have images, video files, audio files, etc.